Yeah.
Is that a fish happening tonight?
Well, Mark got announced over.
No, you told me the story. I'm just asking.
What?
You present it to him?
Oh, I'm giving that to him.
You want me to go put it on right now?
I wish you would hear it. Yeah. His name was Adam Burkman.
The snow bullet. The abominable snowplow. These are great.
Are these the winners or these are
No, I think these are all winners.
Yeah,
I think
they're all-
each of these gets a magnet made. Each of these kids gets a prize. See the snake?
Yeah.
Snow busters. And I think the bottom right one, he said, they just liked it so much they were gonna put it on their picker up, which isn't a snow shape, but just for fun. It's neat. These are the winners.
Did you hear about that?
Okay, cool.
Draw design.
We did a release. I did a release for them last
They
week.
picked a couple winners.
Parents would sign it. They're gonna convince somebody to do an
Yeah,
accident on the ride of work. There's a school, ride to school in March Rocks, but
Better than I did.
Yes, thank you.
I can't, I gotta show these to you. These are fantastic. I wonder if any of these kids are my daughter's kids.
Okay, we're going to start our work session. Good evening, everybody. We do not have any presentations formally, so we'll just go around the room. Matt, anything from,
You know, I have an extensive report. I don't know if you want to go through it
It's up to
now
you.
or do it through the regular business meeting,
I would say do it now,
whatever.
because it's recorded, so.
All right, well, first, I want to thank the Building and Grounds Department and the Building and Grounds Committee for the shampooing of the offices. It was welcome. Definitely noticed a difference. First time ever since the department was moved into that area that the carpets were cleaned. Ed Shaler and I attended the Stormwater Coalition annual lunch last week, Wednesday. Part of that was a presentation from Wendell Associates regarding a commercial project from start to finish. The application, the review, all the public comment and input that went into that project probably made it the best it could possibly be. And unfortunately, they've experienced a little bit of a design failure on the drainage system, and they're currently addressing it. And the most important part of that is, you know, there's an open stormwater permit on that facility, so it's pretty dire that, one, the discharges are addressed, and two, that they ultimately have a resolution or possibly a redesign of the facility so it operates correctly. The property ownership transfer at the Rue Madeline Pond has not been completed yet. I've gotten no responses from my inquiries to the county level of government, so I'll continue at another round of questions and try to figure out when is it going to close and when in fact the ownership is going to have some discussion with the town on filing a stormwater maintenance agreement. There's an open drainage complaint at 13 Via Donato. It began with a neighbor dispute about a shed going up. We currently have an application in by that owner to request variance for the location of the shed. There is encroachment into the drainage easement as well as a side yard setback. It's a small encroachment when you look at the overall distances, but it's still an encroachment. So tonight I'm going to ask that the Drainage and Sewer Committee direct the Town Highway Department to install a 6-inch rear yard drain structure on the property of 13 Via Donato to accept their stormwater runoff. The claim there is that whatever blockage or fence or barricades that are happening are preventing their stormwater from entering the town system. And this is an easy fix, a 6-inch drain right in the corner of the property. They can discharge all of their water into that inlet. Autumnwood subdivision. Town attorney and I have had some conversations and discussions have gone out. There's a termination point on Hickory Lane that does not have any verbiage filed for the temporary turnaround or an easement. A portion of that turnaround encroaches onto the private property a significant amount, about 10 feet into the front yards. So those attorneys for those purchasers are questioning the description of the easement and whether or not it's filed. So I believe we're going to discuss this with the ownership and their legal counsel to get this thing formalized and get that finalized and addressed. In the last I want to say 3 project submittals, discussions, I should say, pre-submittal discussions, the applicants are questioning the site plan review fee. I do understand with the larger properties, the fee is significant into the thousands of dollars for a review fee, even though the applicants are developing a small portion of the land. And the code is very clear. There's a formula based on the size of the lot. If you have 80 acres of land, it's thousands of dollars for the site plan review fee. And in one case, we have an amendment to an existing approved project. And again, it's in the tens of thousands of dollars to reapply for that. So in the discussions with your fees and your fees adjustments, that may be one topic that needs to be looked at a little closer for what it is. I'm not making a recommendation for or against, but it's come up in the last couple of pre-submittal meetings. And then lastly, as to the moratorium that's being presented again tonight, if there's going to be input necessary from the zoning office, please provide some contact information to the committee that's working on it so I can better understand the terminology and the intent of that code. There's still some gray areas on existing projects, but I'd like to, offer input and be a part of those public discussions.
So this is just a setting the public hearing for it.
Correct.
I would
That should do it.
anticipate any committee that's put together, you would be part of.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Ed?
Real quick, senior center, everything's done, pavilion's about 95% finished, they expect to be wrapped up here soon. Historical building's ongoing, they've got most of the siding done, they're getting ready to move up to the soffits. Let's see, Opera House HVAC, I believe is finished, I'm just waiting for confirmation. And then the schoolhouse, everything is done right now except for the handicap ramp. Seabrook Road culvert, I had a kickoff meeting with DOT last week. Contracts are in process, we really can't seek any, can't get reimbursed on anything until the contracts are signed, but they're in process with the state. But we can initiate the consultant selection process, which is a QBS process by federal law. So what has to happen is the county has a pre-selected list of 15 consultants. 2 of them we wouldn't use, so 13 consultants, we have to send out a request for qualifications. There has to be a selection committee of the town to sit down and review those 13 and determine who is the best qualified, at which point then we would sit down and negotiate a price. DOT suggests a committee of 3. My suggestion would be the highway super, chair of the highway committee, and myself. If that's agreeable to everybody, then that's what the committee will put together, and I'll get the RFQs on the street, give the firms probably 3 weeks or so to respond, so we would probably start looking at them with the holidays right after the first of the year.
it's fine with me.
Okay. Soffit work has started. They're doing the lead abatement first, which should be just about wrapped up, and then they'll get into the repairs. Their goal is to get the doors open, before the middle of winter. They won't get them painted until spring, but that's fine. Brickyard. Brickyard work has begun. If you recall, one of the things we pulled out of that contract was the water line work, when we were trying to get the cost down. We do have the opportunity to get the water line work done. One of the contractors doing water line work for the town right now on Bowen and Genesee, way under budget. There's funds remaining in that contract. We asked him what his cost would be to do the water line work at Brickyard. The quote that was in the Brickyard bid for the water line was $54,000. The contractor has come back at $34,000. So if the town would like, we can have that contractor do the water line work at the Brickyard as part of his contract that he already has with the town. And even putting that work into the water line contract, the Bowen and Genesee contract will still be under budget. So that's.
I personally am not prepared to make that decision right now. Can you send us an email so we can look
Sure.
at that?
Yep.
See how much under budget we
Yep.
are there, and so
Sure.
we can make that.
Yeah, no problem.
My,
Warner Road still in design, and then Eric and I met, I'll let Eric speak later on dog control. And that's it.
Clerk's office, down anything? No. Attorney's office? Nothing new. John, highway? Yeah. Anything from Parks and Recreation? Sure. It's like a 3-week season, right?
Bruce Stutz, Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry. Start off on the forestry end again. Our fall tree planting is complete. We had a couple of extra trees we're going to put in. The trees around Town Hall are in, so Rotary Club donated those. I think they turned out well. On the recreation side, Ed had mentioned a Brickyard. They are pouring concrete on Wednesday, so from where we were a couple months ago to getting that project closer to being, at least closer to being completed. As far as our basketball startup, youth basketball over the Boys and Girls Club, about 280 players. So that's a very strong program. We're still looking to grow that in the next couple of years. Hopefully maybe even double that within a couple of years. So that's kind of the plan on that end. And for the park side, we began work on the Westwood Nature Walk. So we are probably maybe 100 feet in, but we're starting to reestablish that trail. So it's going to be nice if you're out and about and you want to walk it. If you're walking in Westwood Park, it is going to be a nice trail, nice addition to that park and for our residents. So,
and that I saw was on the town website, so people can take a look at where it is.
yes, we got the rendering on there and we have the press release. So, yeah, it's going to be good. Any questions or?
I think that's a great thing right there. You know, we have our nature walk, but if you walk in that nature walk, there's always bikes and things going through. So this kind of gives you the forestry look of things. You won't have bikers in that going through there.
For sure, it's a good an addition with the Heritage Trail and our bike throughout the Westwood. So it's something unique that we haven't had in a while. So,
Great, thanks.
thank you. Yep.
Captain Ziders, anything from the police?
Captain Ziders, Lancaster PD. I was given a couple things to bring up. One, I guess, was a stop sign at Deepwood Place that was discussed. I talked to Chief Gummel about that. There's nothing that has occurred there as far as accidents and stuff like that that would warrant a stop sign. Looking at it, I have a little concern with just how the road design is with the island in the middle. And because there's through traffic with the island, if there happens to be somebody who wants to go around that island and there's just straight through traffic, there's no traffic control there for either one of those vehicles to make a determination on who's going first. So I don't have an actual recommendation for it at this point, but there's nothing that's occurred there right now that warrants it, actually having to go up. As far as fireworks in the area of Seneca Place, I'm looking into that more. We've had several complaints there. Last night there was another 2 that came out, and officer went out there, checked it out. He stopped at a couple homes. Those individuals denied setting the fireworks off, and somebody else denied hearing anything. So they're definitely going off, and they're going off in various parts of the town and the village, but we're just going to have to kind of attack that a little bit differently to actually address it and hopefully get an address for somebody who's doing it so we can make it stop. And then the last thing is we'll be assisting with the fire truck parade this weekend and in various capacities. That's about it.
Captain, Captain, for Deepwood, what would your thought be if you're coming out of the newer subdivision, which comes into that circle basically, if there was a yield sign there?
Yield would be sufficient.
I'm thinking that way, people coming out, no,
Yeah.
there's traffic coming
Yeah.
around, wait,
Yeah, that would absolutely be sufficient there.
that might be easier.
It's just that island, again, there's not a lot of cars that are gonna be
No.
making that turn across there, but if there's no traffic control, it's kind of like,
Yeah,
who's supposed to do what here?
yeah, something, maybe a yield, that way if coming out, if they see something come around the circle, they
Yeah.
can stop.
Yeah.
That's something highway can put up, John? Is that, you guys put up yield signs? This would be Deepwood.
If we put up a...
No, can you?
Sure, yeah.
That might be the easiest solution.
Yeah.
Start with that now.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Anything else? Good? All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Eric, anything from dog control?
Yeah, so as Mr. Schiller said, we plan in addition to dog control, it would add 4 more kennels onto our facility. I believe it brings the building out another 16 feet
Yes.
to basically the road, I guess, for the campus. I did get the grant announcement in the mail from the state, and I don't know, did we figure out what the matching is on that?
Not yet, no.
It's usually somewhere in the neighborhood that they'll pay for 80% of the
Yeah,
improvements. or
75% normal.
80% of the improvements, so relatively to cost the town to add on these 4 kennels that we lost with the selling of the shed is a no-brainer, in my opinion. We'd also have another, with this new Article 26C that's coming out, we have to have a separate isolation area. If there was a case that we brought in a dog that had a zoonotic illness, so it's going to be required by law in 2024 anyways. So this addition would address that before it became an issue. So I think it would be a great addition to dog control, and especially if the state's going to pay for 75% of it, the cost to us would be minimal.
I take it we'll be receiving an email with the actual cost on there and everything.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that far.
We met, kind of went over our concept that we grew up utilizing the addition and some of the garage space for the new kennels. And then once Eric was okay with that, then I'll take that to an architect and get some pricing of what the addition's gonna cost.
When's the grant application due?
January 29th.
Yeah, it's usually right beginning of the year.
So you're gonna be able to get all that done before the, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of changes that are coming with this Article 26C that this addition is going to address before it even becomes a problem.
There's actually a report today about that virus going through out in Denver right now.
Yeah, there's no reported cases in New York yet, but yeah, exactly, for cases like that, the law stipulates that we have to have a separate isolation area that has to be separated by a closing door. So we don't have that right now, but this would provide that for us. But again, that law doesn't go into effect till 2024, so.
Okay.
Do you want a resolution on to authorize application, or do you want to wait until after the first year?
Probably should.
Wait, well, yeah, I mean, kind of like to know what the numbers are so we can, what we're putting in for, what our percentage is gonna be, we're gonna need all that. So we're not gonna know till after he reaches out and gets a price on it.
We're not obligated to take the grant, are we?
Never.
If we're accepted?
Never.
No, but I caution if you go for it, because otherwise you go for it in the future, and they're dedicating this to you. If you turn it down, it's kind of lost funds.
So why don't we wait till we find out?
All right.
Good.
Thanks. Okay, I guess we'll go over the resolutions. 1 and 2 are the standard minutes and the audit claims. Councilmember Mazer, the normal.
Third one is the bi-weekly building permit applications. There are a total of 49, 36 in the town and 13 in the village.
Councilmember Dickman, number 4.
This is the Special use permit for green drop up at Forest Stream Plaza.
Okay, Councilmember Mazur, number 5.
5 is the approval of an amended site plan for Ewing Irrigation Systems on 5550 Genesee Street.
Okay, 6 is budget transfers. 7 is the Appeal 17 for the evidence court for the police department. Councilmember Burkhart, number 8.
Approved purchase for 1 pickup truck for highway department.
Councilmember Leary, number 9.
Number 9 is set the public hearing for the proposed local law change for the moratorium. There was some wording changed from our last public hearing, and we have to have another public hearing because of that wording change.
If I could just add.
Certainly.
Depending on how that public hearing goes, we are going to have a resolution on for approval following the public hearing during that same meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, 10 and 11 have to do with dog control. It's adjusting the salaries, and then we lost a dog control part-timer, so we're replacing that person. Then Councilmember Dickman, number 12 and 13.
12 is the renewal for the special use permit for the Go Car Wash on Transit Road. 13 is the renewal for the special use permit for Kenworth Northeast on Pavement Road.
14 is setting the public hearing to purchase 211 Pavement Road for expansion of Westwood Park. This will be to create soccer fields, and same thing. If the public hearing goes well, we'll have a resolution on to have the ability to purchase that property.
The only thing I would add to that is, as we sit here, I still don't have an appraisal.
Yeah,
Correct.
coming from the soccer.
How much is it? Do we know any of that yet?
So there's numbers floating, but you have to have an actual appraisal. And that's, the
Right.
the soccer group is paying for it right now. We're not expending any funds right now
For the appraisal?
for the appraisal.
Okay.
And they're getting it from GAR.
And we're going to get that before?
Yeah, for sure, we have to, because we
Yeah,
can't,
because
we
we
can't
can't
authorize
say.
to spend funds.
Right.
But the thing is, they've been waiting a long time. I don't want to lose this property. It's right next to Westwood Park. I know, Bruce, you've been heavily involved with the setup of this, and it just makes sense if we can get our hands on it for a proper price. Of course, we can't overpay for it.
No, and again, we got to take into account the additional costs that may be involved there, like the drainage and all those other things that are going to need to be done to the fields, and perhaps more parking, and I don't know if Ed can give us estimates on things like that. If this went through, is there a plan as to how it's going to be laid out, what additional parking we may need,
Yeah.
drainage costs, the whole 9 yards? I mean, again, I'd hate to just buy some property and have it sit there and wait.
I don't have any plan yet for it.
Right, so this may take a little longer.
Councilmember Dickman, number 15.
Number 15 is a special use permit renewal for Greg's Tree Service on 1230 Town Line Road.
And 16 is approved youth bureau tutors. We'll take a short break and reconvene at 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, 3.
Okay. We have a next secret design.
He doesn't like this one. He doesn't want to put this here.
Yeah.
It was never been used.
Working too hard, buddy.
Man.
Never used it.
Are they readers?
No, they used it in the last week.
That's right.
Professional opportunity.
Are you like, my wife had like 4 pairs all around the house?
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
these are the cheap ones, this is about the good
That
ones.
space that was a
In
pretty
your
big.
car, and my wife's got in her car, and
14?
Have time to check the car.
one of the kids in,
16 feet, we could go outside before you get to the road, so there's plenty of width.
Let me know if we get the file for that one.
And because that's the way it's oriented, the type of structure, it's a boulder, and in days,
Yeah, don't bring it with me.
yeah. And the utilities are there, it should be relatively quick and inexpensive.
Oh, let me just go get it.
All right, I hope it doesn't die while I'm here.
Aaron doesn't attack.
I was gonna get a copy.
I want Mary.
Did yours break?
Nobody reads the letters.
These are cheap. Should have brought better ones.
I used to have a pair in here, but not in the other one.
see, I got the surgery. I got the LASIK. I got one eye done and one eye kept.
So one's for car, one's for...
One's for driving and one's for reading.
You have to close one at night?
No, it's great.
I was thinking it was...
Well, they delayed it, they made me wear contact in one eye, just to make sure that would be the fixed one for a week. It was fine. No. Oh, yeah, that's why they said do one. That's what they told me, just do one. As long as I didn't have any headaches or dizziness, best of both worlds.
Let's just look at this one. I guess.
Aggravated with the way they had buffering to the screen.
Okay.
Ben Franklin now, with
That's
those
it.
those good, nice gold ones.
You go to.
Even they do an area coverage,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be specific. It's just a square foot.
I did a couple cycles. One site parking all over the place. I said, let's put some green island down the middle here.
What part of this thing is it? Is it a three-story part of it?
The village?
By Sweet Home, Skinner's Road, by Sweet Home, looks like one part of it.
Wasn't by the town of Emily. There's a bunch of them. Student housing.
Yeah, I assume that's what it is.
Yeah,
Housing project?
tied in the university over there and everything else. That one they're building there, I don't know if you get up along the 990 up there. That one they're building up there, what about? It's huge.
Frame the one. 90, 98, 99. This frame that one for UB.
Where the Autobahn came
Sweet
out.
Home exit.
Yeah, well, it doesn't, Autobahn, next exit, and dead end at 990. They've now opened that all up. They must have over 100 buildings built already.
Soccer clubs, it's really, see downtown. Complexes, I mean,
They can't build the best stuff down
I would imagine next year. That's just right on the outside edge of the food.
Yeah, my daughter lived downtown. You couldn't get apartments down there.
I can't find it. Sure. Now, do you want us to just pull it and make sure the language is better?
Perhaps amend it or condition it on addressing the issues within 6 months or something.
It's up to you. We're not shutting down for the next 2 weeks.
No, I
If
mean,
you want us to fix that, we'll do it during the next week.
it might be better off. Yeah.
That's fine. Just let Adam.
Yeah.
Adam number 13.
Adam.
Adam,
Matt's asking if we can pull number 13 until the next meeting. Apparently, there's some language that he wants to see in there from his inspection.
Yeah, that's fine. It's still
We're still.
good till the end of the year anyway, so it's fine.
Thank you.
13 will be tabled.
13 to be tabled.
Non-number 13 will be tabled. So we can get some clarification language following Matt's inspection.
Oh, it's actually behind, as soon as I get 7.
Get my prayer out.
I have 7 o'clock, I'm going to call the meeting to order. We have a guest here, Donna Martin, filling in for the clerk. So would you mind doing a roll call, Donna?
Sure. Councilmember Burkhardt?
Here.
Councilmember Dickman?
Here.
Councilmember Leary?
Here.
Councilmember Mazur?
Here.
Supervisor Rufino?
Here. The pledge and invocation will be done by Councilmember Martin. Thank you, remain standing.
As we're coming up to the holiday season, I wanted to give a prayer out to our military and their families, ones that are deployed and cannot be here with us. Father, we thank you for the military heroes who are courageously serving our nation. Please protect and strengthen them as they sacrifice time with loved ones to defend our freedoms. We pray for peace and comfort for military families separated during this holiday season. May they still share special moments together, even if they are far apart. And for veterans who find themselves alone this holiday season, our loving God. Amen.
Amen. Okay, tonight's meeting, we have 16 pre-filed resolutions. We don't have any suspended resolutions, no public hearings, no executive sessions. We close in memory of 3 people: Virginia Ostrowski, Patricia Shaver, and Gerald Esford. At this point, actually, we are tabling resolution number 13. So if anybody wants to speak on any of the 15 pre-filed resolutions, please raise your hand. I'll ask for a second time and a third time. Okay. Any official reports? Okay. Just a couple things. Town board committees, anything? Okay, I have a proclamation that I'm going to read off. It's for Small Business Week. Whereas the town of Lancaster and the state of New York celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, and whereas the town of Lancaster is committed to serving small business constituents, and whereas small business employs 46.8% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, and whereas Lancaster, New York supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods, and whereas Small Business Saturday, falling between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, on the Saturday after Thanksgiving is essential in preserving neighborhoods that compose the landscape of our local economy and enrich its unique culture. Whereas 79% of consumers understand the importance of supporting the small businesses in the community on Small Business Saturday, 70% report the day makes them want to encourage others to shop small, independently owned retailers, and 66% report that day makes them want to encourage others to shop small all year long. And now, therefore, the Town Board of Town of Lancaster hereby proclaims November 25th, 2023 as Small Business Saturday and urges the residents of our community to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. One other thing I'd like to talk about and show everybody is the banner program that I got involved with that cost taxpayers nothing. They will start going up November 28th, and I have a sample of one of them. The quality is unbelievable on this thing, and the detail. So these will be going basically on the entry points into the town of Lancaster when you're leaving another township or the villages. They're marked there. So there's another separate one for our Parks Department, okay? Our Parks Department has a different one, so Westwood Park will get, and Walden Ponds will get more of a forestry-looking one. Also, these will be going at the Youth Bureau Senior Center, and then the company actually gives us 3. And what my decision was to give it to the fire departments. We have 3 volunteer fire departments. They're gonna have this, but in the sponsorship thing, down here, it's gonna be a fire logo. So again, a very popular thing. It sold out very quickly. In 3 weeks, we had everything sponsored. So we're all done. They'll be going up. But again, it's welcoming people to the town of Lancaster. Want to see this? The quality of this is unbelievable.
Good. New
Vinyl.
ink, vinyl.
Yeah, they did a
It's
fabulous.
heavy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, watch. Very nice.
Nice, very nice. Nice material. Yeah, nice and heavy duty.
Very cool.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next portion of our agenda, and that's going to be the resolutions. I'd like to move resolution number 1, and this resolve the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held November 6, 2023, being hereby approved. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Do you have the amount for the?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, sorry. That's okay. Yeah, thanks. I'd like to move resolution number 2, and this is out the following audited claims, being hereby order paid from the respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office. It's check run number 11202023. Total amount hereby authorized to be paid is $412,166.63. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Councilmember Mazur, number 3, please.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board, I offer the following resolution, move for its adoption. Be it resolved that the following building permit applications being hereby reaffirmed. There were, like I said before, there was a total of 49 total, 36 in the town and 13 in the village. Now therefore be it resolved that the building permit applications here encoded CSW for conditional sidewalk waiver being hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition the town of Lancaster at any future date reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the property owner.
May I have a second?
Second.
On the question,
Matt, are there any sidewalk waivers for this group?
No, there are not.
Thank you, sir.
on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, number 4, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I offer Resolution 4 for adoption. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster held a public hearing October 16, 2023, upon the application of Ronald D. TVI Incorporated doing business as Green Drop from Bellevue, Washington, for a special use permit to use a space in the parking lot at Forest Stream Plaza, 4723 Transit Road, Lancaster, New York, to operate a Green Drop mobile donation center in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 400 zoning, Article 5 commercial districts, General Commercial District of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. And whereas persons for and against such special use permit have had an opportunity to be heard, and whereas Code Enforcement Officer Matt Fischione has reviewed the use and found it compliant to the zoning district of the special use permit request per his letter dated September 21st, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby grant a special use permit to Ronald D. TVI Incorporated doing business as Green Drop to use the space in the parking lot at Forest Stream Plaza, 4723 Transit Road, Town of Lancaster, to operate a Green Drop mobile donation center, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions set forth in the Code of the Town of Lancaster and to any additional conditions listed herein if the applicant continues to engage in the occupation listed above on the premise, namely the hours of operation will be limited to open business hours provided in the Exhibit B. At no time will there be outside exposed storage of collected goods. The applicant shall submit copies of their business and Erie County Health Department license to the town clerk, and the renewal of this permit will be every 2 years.
May I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Councilmember Mazur, number 5, please.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board, I offer the following resolution and move for its adoption. Whereas Kenneth Zolich, project manager on behalf of Ewing Irrigation Landscape Supply, has submitted a site plan amendment proposing installation of the previously approved Rackmaster training area site, building expansion of 50 by 70, expanding the travel lot for the storage yard, and constructing a ditch system and dry swale to account for the increase of stormwater runoff on the property known as 5550 Genesee Street, Lancaster, whereas no seeker review of this project is deemed necessary, being it a type 2 action, and whereas the amended plan was presented on November 1st, 2023 to the planning board meeting, and there being no changes to the plan, approval was recommended. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the submitted site plan amendment of Ewing Irrigation and Landscape Supply, proposing installation of the previously approved Recmaster Training Area sites building expansion of 50 by 70, expanding the travel lot for storage yard, and constructing a ditch system and dry swale to account for the increase in stormwater runoff on the property known as 5550 Genesee Street.
May I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. I'd like to move resolution number 6, whereas the town board of town of Lancaster previously adopted an operating budget for the 2023 fiscal year, and whereas one or more town departments have made budget transfers or requested budget transfers contrary to the originally adopted operating budget for 2023 fiscal year. Whereas the town board of the town of Lancaster has duly considered the following budget transfers on behalf of the town of Lancaster's Highway Department. The request was made by our acting director of finance. It's numerous moves to cover the cost of budget deficit and brush and drainage payroll counts. We've heard from our highway superintendent back there, that's all they've been doing is a lot of brush and stuff like that now. So now therefore be it resolved that the town board of town of Lancaster hereby authorizes the budget transfer above described. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. I'd like to move resolution number 7. Now therefore be it resolved, the supervisor of the town of Lancaster, being is hereby authorized to complete and submit Form PO-17, it's a new position duty statement for authorization by the County of Erie of personnel to create one position titled Evidence Clerk Full-Time in the Police Department. Be it further resolved that supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 8, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I'm offering Resolution 8 for adoption. Whereas John Pilato, Highway Superintendent for the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated November 9th, 2023, has requested the purchase of one new and unused 2023 Ford F-150 pickup for use by the Town of Lancaster Highway Department, and whereas this new and unused 2023 pickup is available under New York State Contract PC 6896, Group 40440, Award 23166, from New York State vendor DeLacy Ford, Transit Road, Alma, at a cost not to exceed $33,429. And whereas this new and unused 2023 Ford pickup will be paid for out of the highway budget line 13-5142-0210, other equipment. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase of one new and unused 2023 Ford pickup for the use by the town of Lancaster Highway Department.
May I have a second?
Second.
On the question?
Question, I thought we were using something to offset this, the cost of this truck? Some monies from auction money?
Yeah.
Okay, does that have to be in?
No, we're doing it one of two different ways. If the auction garners more than a $10,000 trade-in, we're going to put the $10,000 and whatever left comes back to the general fund. If it's less, we're just going to take it out of auction and put the vehicle as a trade-in for that $10,000.
Okay. I didn't know if it had to be here in the resolution. I was aware of that, and just so the public knows it is being offset. Hopefully, a significant amount of that cost will be offset by the auction.
At least 10.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Councilmember Leary, number 9.
Yes, sir. Mr. Supervisor and honorable town board members, I move the following resolution for adoption. Whereas Article 16 of the New York Town Law and Section 10 of the Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York provides for the adoption and enactment of local laws, and whereas the attorney for the town has prepared a proposed local law to establish a one-year moratorium on applications, approvals, and construction of commercial residential development. And whereas the town board has reviewed the attached local law, and the town of Lancaster believes it is in the public interest to consider enacting the local law, and whereas pursuant to the town of Lancaster Town Code, Municipal Home Rule Law, a public hearing is required on the proposed local law. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the town board of the town of Lancaster that, number one, the local law is hereby referred to the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning pursuant to New York State General Municipal Law, Section 239-M. Two, a public hearing for the proposed local law is hereby set for the 4th day of December 2023 at 7:05 p.m. here at Lancaster Town Hall. Number three, the town clerk is directed to provide notice of the public hearing as required by law. And number four, this resolution is effective immediately.
May I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. I'd like to move resolution number 10, whereas Eric Major, patrolman and dog control police officer of the town of Lancaster, by letter dated November 14, 2023, has requested an adjustment to the rate of pay for part-time permanent assistant dog control officers. Now therefore be it resolved that part-time permanent assistant dog control officers are hereby given adjustments to the rate of pay as follows. Effective November 20, 2023, from current rate is $18, new rate would be $20. Be it further resolved, Supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. I'd like to move resolution number 11. Now therefore be resolved, the following individuals hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent position in the Town of Lancaster Dog Control Office, working not more than 19 3/4 hours per week, and that this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time permanent employees. The person's name is Jordan Petrick, and be it further resolved, effective date is November 20th, 2023. Be it further resolved, the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes, Councilmember Dickman, number 12, please.
Thank you.
Is Jordan with us tonight?
No, she had surgery recently, so she's unable to attend.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Honorable Town Board, I offer Resolution 12 for adoption. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster by resolution on September 6, 2022 approved a special use permit application submitted by MDC Coast 24 LLC doing business as Go Car Wash to operate an express exterior car wash on the premise located at 6645 Transit Road in the Town of Lancaster. Whereas by letter dated November 3rd, 2023, Ira Rottenberg, CFO, on behalf of MDC Coast 24 LLC, Go Car Wash, has requested that the Town Board renew the special use permit for an additional 2-year term. And whereas by letter dated November 13th, 2023, Matt Fiscione, Town Code Enforcement Officer, has recommended the renewal of the special use permit. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby grant the special use permit renewal to Ira Rottenberg, CFO of MDC Coast 24 LLC, DBA Go Car Wash, to operate an express exterior car wash on the premise located at 6645 Transit Road in the Town of Lancaster upon the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period of November 20th, 2023 and ending November 19th, 2025, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with the conditions as set forth of the Code of the Town of Lancaster and to any additional conditions listed herein if the applicant continues to engage in the occupation listed above. And that would be that the permit is to be renewed every 2 years. The applicant will authorize representatives from the building inspector's office to enter upon reasonable notice, and that the applicant will provide a copy of their business papers and federal tax numbers.
May I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazer?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. As stated, we are tabling number 13, so we're going to move on to number 14. I'd like to move resolution number 14, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster has been made aware of the need for the expansion of Westwood Park for recreational fields for the benefit of the community, and whereas property at 211 Pavement Road, owned by Pavement Road Holdings LLC, has become available for purchase, whereas the Town Board of Town of Lancaster deems it in the best public interest to hold a public hearing to provide an opportunity for citizens to express any concerns or proposals to assist the Town Board in its desire to secure property for expanding Westwood Park recreational fields. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing will be held at the Lancaster Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, on the 4th of December at 7:05 p.m., and notice of the time and place of such hearing be published in the Lancaster Bee, a newspaper of general circulation in said town, and be posted on the town bulletin board. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question. On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, number 15, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I offer Resolution 15 for adoption. Whereas the Town of Lancaster has previously held public hearings upon the application of Gregory A. Soika, owner of Greg's Tree Service, for a special use permit to operate a contractor's storage yard with storage of tree grind and firewood on the premise locally known as 1230 Town Line Road, currently zoned general industrial, and the board issued such special use permit on December 19th, 2016, and subsequently, which is subject to a yearly renewal upon application by the property owner. Whereas by letter dated November 6, 2023, Gregory Soika has requested that the town board renew the special use permit for 1 year. And whereas Matt Fishione, the town code enforcement officer, by letter dated November 14th, 2023, has indicated conformance with the 2016 special use permit conditions. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster does hereby grant the renewal of the special use permit to Gregory Soika, owner of Greg's Tree Service, Lancaster, New York, upon the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions as set forth of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and it's the same 4 conditions that have always been on there.
May I have a second?
Second?
On the question? On the question.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. I'd like to move resolution number 16. Now therefore be it resolved, the following individual are hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent positions in the town of Lancaster's Youth Bureau, working not more than 19 3/4 hours per week, and that this being part-time positions provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time employees. It's Karen Overhoff and Cole Kinkergall. They're both tutors. Be it further resolved, Supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question. On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Leary?
Yes.
Councilmember Mazur?
Yes.
Supervisor Rufino?
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to our communications. All set?
Yep.
Okay. Number 628 through 630 received and filed. 631, resolution tonight. 632 and 633 received and filed. 634 is the Planning Committee. 635 received and filed. 636 and 637, Planning Committee. 638 through 641 received and filed. 642 through 644, resolution tonight. 645 through 647 received and filed. 648, resolution tonight. 649 received and filed. 650, Planning Committee. 651 through 656 received and filed. 657 through 659, resolution tonight. 660, Planning Committee. And 661 and 662 received and filed. Okay, we're going to move on to the last portion. Anybody would like to speak on any subject matter, you're allowed to comment. You have up to 5 minutes. Yes, sir? Please come up to the podium, state your name and address.
My name is Dan, Erie County, and my residency is Erie County. And the reason I come up here to speak to the board today again is on behalf of the Lancaster Police Department. The problem I'm having with the Lancaster Police Department is their FOIL department. Their FOIL department continuously violates the law on the FOIL law, making the FOIL a joke here in Lancaster. I can't get FOIL through. To give you guys an example, on June 12th, I filed a FOIL request asking for Mr. Richard Albert, a police officer's complaint record. They responded on the 15th. So FOIL in New York, you have 5 days after the initial response to respond. They got 5 days to respond, then 20 days to get me a FOIL filled, a FOIL denial, or ask for more time. Well, 75 days later, they finally get me a FOIL out. Now, on June 12th, I put the request in. On June 15th, they put the response in. I had to appeal it on the 15th of August because I get no response, no asking for more time. Now, in New York State FOIL, ignoring a FOIL, meaning not giving it in the time, is considered the same thing as the same thing as a denial. Now, I appealed it. The chief of police did the following day of the appeal give me half of it, and then on the 15th of August, and then on the 29th, they finally filled the FOIL request that I requested, but they lied to me. And one of the things that they told me, the reason it couldn't go in, and I don't know if this is because this would be your territory, Mr. Attorney, would be that they had to redact the information on Richard's file. Well, they gave me a whole bunch of paperwork saying he's the best police officer in the world, he's the greatest, you know, for the police force, yada, 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 and they gave me one of his complaint record, all right? Someone since then has came forward and given me his full complaint record. You guys did not give me the full complaint record. I don't know if there's a reason for that or if you're the one who denied it or didn't give it to me, but you guys lied. All right? I have that in my possession, his full complaint record from somebody else who went to court with him. Now, I'm going to expose what you guys didn't give me. So if that is you indeed, Thomas, that is the attorney, maybe you can explain why you guys are lying about the FOIL and not giving me the full FOIL request and violating the law for 75 days past, you know, that's 55 days past the law when the law is supposed to come out. Now, the Lancaster Police Department has absolutely no problem throwing a pair of handcuffs on somebody for a 19-day insurance lapse and throwing them in a cage and locking them up and treating them like a criminal. But now when the police department violates the law by 55 days, who's going to hold them accountable? I got to file a lawsuit that's going to cost the town. Moving on to the second matter, I filed a FOIL request on August 15th. On the 16th, I got a response within the 5-day allotted time. Now we are 96 days past due on this FOIL request. Now, I asked for quite a few things, all right? So I would expect that it probably will take more than the 20 allotted days. But past the 20 days, you guys are supposed to ask for more time and give me an allotted amount of time that you guys need. The Lancaster Police has not done that. I put in three voicemails to the clerk's department in the records department at the police department. No response back. I left 2 voicemails for the chief of police about it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You guys ignored it by 96 days. Is that an ignore? Are you guys asking for more time? What do you guys want me to do? Because I have no problem filing lawsuits. And it's only going to cost the town money when they have to go to court over this. Now, the proper thing to do would be to follow the law because, I mean, we got the Lancaster Police back here. They got absolutely no problem enforcing the law when they want to and throwing handcuffs on anybody they want. But who's going to hold the police department accountable here? And 96 days later, I still have not got a response asking for more time. So, I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, how are we going to, I'm going to appeal this tomorrow because, you know, I'm just going to appeal it because I'm assuming you guys are ignoring it. And past the 20 days, I'm going to file the lawsuit. And we're going to take it to court and cost the taxpayers money if that's what you guys want to do. But I would like, I don't know, at the end of the meeting, you guys could speak up. And Mr. Attorney, if you were the one who denied my record request as far as not giving me the full Richard Albert record, which I am entitled to by law, maybe you can get it to me before this story comes out to try to, you know, cover yourselves for as far as, you know, public relations because you guys are clearly lying. You guys didn't give me everything. You guys took 75 days past due to redact 3 lines on what I got. You got 3 lines. Took 75 days to blot out 3 lines of personal addresses or whatever it was, but past that, I mean, now we're 96 days past due on a FOIL request, and you guys are just making a joke of FOIL around here.
5 minutes is up.
Thank you for your
But
comments.
hopefully at the end here we can get some clarification on that if you guys want to make a response to that.
Anybody else want to speak? Yes, sir?
Hello, Kevin Lee, Mr. 720 Schwartz. I was just wondering, on number 6, on the budget transfer, what was the amount? You know I'm going to be asked that by somebody.
There's like 7 different items.
Kevin, do you want this?
Yeah, you want.
I don't need this
Take
Oh,
that.
can I? Okay, so, thank you.
It's taken from 7 different things.
Okay, that's all, because Lee's going to be asking.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else like to speak? Any subject matter? I'll ask for a second time.
When they're on the point of the town not following certain
Please
laws.
state your name and address.
I'm Dwayne, I live in Erie County. It came to our attention that you guys have an assessment problem here in Lancaster, and how you're assessing homes is illegal. If you follow the town of Cheektowaga, they were recently sued over something similar by an attorney named Gary Borek. He won, he prevented the town from collecting their tax deposits, something that you guys need to fund the jobs program that is the government. I have here a pie chart showing that, not to get into details, I don't want to get cut off and get my 5 minutes. You guys are very adamant on time deadlines, except for when it comes to foils. Essentially, you have a purchase date, you have a cutoff date for assessment. 71% of your homes are incorrectly assessed. This puts an unfair tax burden on people. I'm going to leave this here with you guys. You guys can take a look at it, but it's something to consider that it's not looking good. And we will be in touch with Borek. We'll give this to you guys. Our recommendation is that you guys do a revaluation of all the properties in the town of Lancaster to make sure that they're properly assessed. If not, we'll be here. We'll be challenging them in the bar. We'll be taking them to SCAR. We'll be getting those people their money back. So I'm going to leave this. It shows what homes are improperly assessed on the valuation date, which is not great, but it's a typical government program. But I'm going to leave this here for you guys. You guys can take care of this. You can pass it down if you'd like. Just letting you guys know that's something to come to your attention. You should consider a reval. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak? For a third time, I'm going to ask a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn?
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Roll call. Oh, on the roll, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carried.
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving, as I said.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Did nobody here's got anything to say about the foil problem here in Lancaster? I guess did like to enforce that 5-minute rule, but 96 days passed. That's your board here. They just don't care about the law. As you heard before, the supervisor themselves say that the oath of office is just a technicality. So what's the law here for the Lancaster town board apparently?